This is the space that we're going to tackle next. Now this is the living space of the larger room that we have. I'll pop in some video of what this whole space looks like. I've already started part of the makeover as far as the furniture is concerned. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But there's lots to do in here because I've made some changes. I've moved some chairs out of here that I gave away to one of my daughters. They used to be right here. Like I said, I'll pop in some pictures. I've had several changes of curtains. I had some curtains up here that have been up here for 10 years. I gave those away. And then I had a pair given to me by one of my daughters that were blackout curtains that I used in my last makeover for one of our spare rooms. I'll link that video so you're sure to see it. Now, the fireplace, well, don't mind that right there. That's a back exerciser. Maybe I'll talk about that sometime. But the fireplace is an issue right now. I have not touched this area for 1.5 years. It still has some things on here from last spring. I think these were there already and these were here. One of my daughters thrifted a couple of items at Christmas. That's about all I put up was this and one down at that end. I've got this area here that, well, it's just a mess. It's just a mess right now, but that's okay. I have some ideas for what I want to do here. We're going to cover that in this video. I have this side of the room that has this furniture piece. We'll talk about that when I get to it, but it needs a makeover. I need to change the wall art here. Maybe I'll talk about that. And then of course there's my dining room over there. And here's the area where the 2 chairs were that I just sold. Well, I gave them to my daughter. And then I found a coffee table that needs some help. So we'll talk about that. But like I said, the first thing we're going to do is tackle the windows. This is the existing curtain rod, and I really loved it at the time in this dark color. You can see it's pretty expansive. It goes across all 3 of these windows, and it's not really a curtain rod. This right here is a wooden curtain closet pole that you can get by the length, and I needed a really long one because this span of windows is very long. These are the clips that I still have up from the last curtain. And then this finial was one that I found and it's kind of glued in the end. And anyway, it's a little makeshift. I don't like the color of this rod, so I'm going to change that. That'll be the first thing I do. So here's what we have. I have that whole long pole to do. I have the clips to remove. I'll remove them on the other end, of course. But here's the look that I'm going for, which is but it still looks vintage and old, and I really like the look of that. I just gotta finish it down the rest of the curtain rod. The whole rod is finished. I really like the look of this here. And I wanted to show you what I mean about this closet pole. So this is a wooden dowel that's extra long. You can get it at the lumber store. I don't remember, this is about 9 feet long maybe. Anyway, I got that and it's a really wide dowel rod. And when I got it, I put that hole in the end so that I could take the finial from a curtain rod that already had this screw on it and put it right in there. Let's see if I can do this and hold a camera at the, well, I can't. Anyway, yeah, so it goes in there and I'll just push that on all the way. But the nice thing about this is that I can take this off, put the curtain rings on, and then I can just push it back in and it'll be fine. If I feel the need to hot glue it, I can do that as well. And then it's just easy with a couple turns, that hot glue will break loose and I'll be able to get it off again one day. That curtain rod, it's not really a curtain rod. Like I said, it's a closet pole, has been up there for all the years that we've lived here. So almost 30 years we've been in this house. I've had the same curtain rod that I've used the whole time. I've painted it. I had it as wood for a little while, and now I have it gold. And I didn't have to spend any money on a really long pole that would have cost me an arm and a leg. I am going to let that antiquing wax completely cure before I put the curtain up before I put the curtain rings up there. So I'm gonna let it completely cure. And I wanted to say, if you want to do something like this and you don't have the antique wax like I have, you can also use rub and buff. That's another great alternative. In the meantime, while it's curing, I'm going to do some other things around this room that are in desperate need. Let me show you. This living room refresh series got some attention online. In fact, 2 Pages Curtains reached out to me to see if I was interested in trying out some of the new curtains that they have to offer. Well, of course I said yes, and they even allowed me to choose the curtains that I needed for this living space. I chose the Liz Linen double pleated curtains that I knew would match perfectly in this living room. These 3 large windows in our living room measure about 36 inches wide by about 6 feet tall. So yeah, they're 3 foot wide by 6 feet tall. They're really big windows and they make a statement in this room. So I knew I had to pick just the right curtain. I chose this ivory color because it would help to brighten the room as well as create a soft, elegant feel in this space. This neutral color is going to last me for years and it blends in perfectly with all the thrifted and antique items that I've been collecting for years and years. This beautiful linen fabric is soft and cozy as well as elegant. And fabric is a big deal to me. Being a seamstress for all the years that I've been sewing garments to home decor pieces, I knew that I wanted quality fabric. These lined linen curtains provide just the elegance that I want, as well as completely giving me the privacy when I need it. Installation was pretty straightforward. I had to find the placement for the curtain rod, and then after that, I inserted the adjustable hooks in the back of each pleat and hung the curtains. The new curtains on these windows give this whole space just the coziest feeling you can imagine. It pulls the room all together, and with the neutral color, I don't have to worry about anything clashing in any of these rooms. The new soft look of these linen curtains gives the open concept living space that I have in our home a cozy and inviting feel. Here's what I didn't expect. The echo that I had in this room is completely gone because of the weight and volume that these curtains create in this large open concept space. This is definitely an upgrade to this room and it was so well worth it. If you want to try these curtains from 2 Pages out for yourself, I'll include my exclusive link down in the description and in the first comment. Okay, let's get ready for the rest of this room refresh. So I had a thought. I wanted to raise those curtains up. It wound up only being like an inch too long. So I pulled all 4 panels down, took down the old hardware and added 4 new brackets that got here from Amazon late. I'll pop in a picture of what they look like originally. Let me show you what they look like now. This is what they look like now. They were that dark color that you just saw in that image. And I applied rub and buff, and here they are now. Really happy with these, so much better than the ones that I had up there. Let me tell you the story behind this gorgeous cabinet. It belonged to my husband's father. Well, sort of. It belonged to his workplace. He was a custodian for the local school, and he needed a locker like all the other workmen needed. And these were wooden lockers that the custodians used to keep all their supplies during their workday. My husband found it. Well, it's a long story. He acquired it, and we're so glad that he did. And he also refinished it. It was coated in layers and layers of paint, and years ago he stripped it down and put on this orange tone finish. Now, neither one of us really liked the color of the stain, and we said about 15 years ago that we were going to do something else to it, and we never did, but I finally did something else to it. I used an old-fashioned paint called milk paint to paint it, and then I applied a layer of hemp oil to seal it all in, and now it is just this gorgeous antique in our home. Well, friends, I have grandkids coming, so I've got to wrap this project up for today, but stay tuned for part 2 of this living room refresh. If you need curtains for one of your spaces, make sure that you use my link down in the description and in the first comment, and head over to the 2 Pages website so you can pick out just the perfect curtains for your home. 2 Pages is offered a discount when you use my code REINVENTEDDELAWARE, all caps, no spaces. Use that at checkout and you'll get a discount. Check out this video right here if you want to see my dining room makeover. I know you're going to love it. I'll see you next time.